Yes, Lord.
Real time information.
Real,
Finna get it in
yeah,
real
that's
time.
new. Real time information. Um, woo, it say something real here. WNOV 860 AM 106.5 FM. When I tell you it was a long night last night, my phone, y'all, I'm like, I don't even need to do the show this morning because I talked to so many people, got so many text messages, people cracking up. Like when I tell y'all I'm tired, I am talked out. Y'all gonna have to do the show this morning. Whatever I came in to say is gone. It is gone. I was talking about it in my sleep. I woke up to some more text messages. Uh, Let me say good morning to the bros in the studio first, and then we just gonna be out the gates and running. I was trying to make up my mind. I was gonna text Debo and be like, "Can you like pull up this playlist? Like, she's a bad mama jamma." um, let me see. Something with the word superstar in it. Um, the cleanup woman. I mean, like it was so many things. But then some of the music got like different meanings. But the titles though, the titles. Then Keon popped in my mind because he would have had the music to Rocky. Da, 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 da. He would have been playing that. Uh it's so much, but we're gonna try to tackle it this morning. I definitely want to hear from y'all. Look, people pinging right now. Somebody said this is how we do it.
Yeah.
So many. And if you have a perfect song for today, because I want to be ready for my afternoon show, then please let me know what you think captures the moment of the debate last night. But let me say good morning to the bros. Good morning, Debo. How you doing this morning, fam? I'm sorry.
That's how I'm doing.
Well, wait. Let me call the immigrants in Ohio and let them know you here in the studio,
Right,
so they come get their breakfast. let me call the immigrants in Ohio and let them know we got some extra dogs and cats in the studio, and you can come get that. Carvey, what's happening, fam? Carvey said he got that dog in him, so we should probably play some Atomic Dog this morning. We need to play that. Carvey said, "Look, it was so ridiculous last night." He said, "I had to let it go." Carvey said, "I know I'm about to do this all day tomorrow." So, Carvey, what you say, Carvey? You just was like, "Nah, let's shut this down. I can't do it no more."
But I'm impressed that he watched. That says a lot.
I mean, you know what? I think that people that typically, and not referencing Carvey, but people that typically might not have watched some of the buildup, certainly, you kind of felt like you was getting ready for what Carvey
Show.
He said, "My shorty," which is AKA for girlfriend.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He ain't got no kids.
Yeah, shorty mean, when you don't have children,
Right.
it means your girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
My shorty, she watched, and she typically wouldn't have watched. How old is she? She cut it off too. How old is your girlfriend? About 19, 20, 21? Oh, 1 year younger. Okay. But so that was the thing, that there were people that were tuning in that typically may not have watched. Because everybody understood kind of the hype. Everybody understood the stakes. Everybody understood, that this was historic. And after coming off the 2016 with Hillary Clinton and the way that went, people really wanted to see Donald Trump engage with this woman, interact with this woman on this stage. So there are so many places to begin. But first of all, let me do this. We had a debate watch party over at the African American Women's Center. And there were 4 organizations that bring this all together. I came in without the names of all those organizations. At some point, I'll text Rep Myers so I can make sure that I'm mentioning everybody. But Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, the NAACP. See, I knew I was going to do it. Uh, the links, and it was one more organization. And I'll get that name so I can give credit where credit is due. But there was a debate watch party. They put out a spread. The macaroni and cheese was completely fire. Let me just say that. But they had the barbecue chicken. They set out all the fixings, and there had to be 100 people there, and it was the coolest thing ever. If you've never done a debate watch party, it's like going to somebody's house to watch the Packer game or to watch a prize fight. Because the crowd, like you could tell when people thought that Kamala landed a blow, or that they resonated with a point that she was making, or that Donald Trump said something that was off the wall. So you heard, it was that kind of energy in the room. And so I just want to say that it was cool to be a part of it. I saw a lot of people there from the community. Quite a few of our listeners were there. And I'm just saying, if you've not done that before, you should do that. Invite people over to the house, get some wings, do some food, and just everybody sit down and watch this together, and then walk away, debating it, talking about what went on. So kudos, Josephine Hill and the team over at the African American Women's Center. They made everything, as cool for us as possible.
Quick question, Michelle.
Yes.
I know that they've already released that the Harris campaign has already said that they're ready in October for
another debate.
Yeah. Do you think Trump will do it?
He's gonna have to, because he got to redeem himself. He's gonna have to. Like, you can't.
I heard this morning that both camps are saying that they won the debate.
I mean, Kamala, because the Harris team understands that every time you put a microphone in front of Donald Trump's face, it's an opportunity to make him look stupid, because he has no self-control. He is impetuous. He is, undisciplined. The first thing I thought, in all seriousness, when I was watching the debate, piss poor preparation. No, how does it go?
Poor planning.
No, because it's something about preparation prevents piss poor performance, but you can say it either way. The idea that this man does not appreciate, even after 9 years, that you need to prepare, that you need to study, that you can't come in off the street, off the cuff, and have these conversations in a way that is concise, succinct, and that stays on message. They talked about when he was in the White House, he didn't want to do the daily briefings, the information that you need to understand every day about what's going on around the world. He didn't want to have those conversations. Dude barely wanted the Cliff Notes version of it. You just like skating through life, and it'll work out, it'll fall into place. And so that was the very first thing that I thought about, was the people who understood the game. They appreciated when they kept hearing that Kamala Harris is somewhere, hunkered down, doing debate prep. They understood it. They appreciated it. When people heard and learned, and not surprised at all, that Donald Trump had planned to do none of that, that he was having, quote, conversations, as opposed to actually, when they had talked about Tulsi Gabbard was supposed to be standing in for Kamala Harris, but he wanted to be, have a certain degree of bravado. I don't need that. I'm better than that. I'm that good. I'm that skilled as a communicator, and everybody knows he sucks.
Absolutely.
From his vocabulary and his word choices to his delivery and
lies.
Yeah, I mean, but also, there was a earlier conversation before the debates took place where somebody said, there it is. Thanks, Andre, because I was trying to remember it. Proper preparation prevents a piss poor performance. I learned that a long time ago. a long, long time ago. I learned that in high school. In fact, I think I learned it in middle school because of the type of educational setting that I was in. And so there would be no day of exam, everybody looking crazy because we're not prepared. There would be no, assembly or a presentation or a job that I had to do. And I looked, off balance because I had not prepared. Thank you so much, Andre, because I had said it so much last night that I literally, couldn't even remember it this morning. But I'm going to say that again. And this is applicable in everything that you do. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. That applies to literally every facet of your life. And this is a man who has been given much of the stuff that he has acquired, who has not had to properly prepare, who has had doors open for him via wealth, his father's money, name, ID. And, so you've been able to just show up and be admitted to the college without like real ACT scores and SAT scores. You've been able to get access, not because you deserved it, but because of what the image was people had of you. So when I say that the stark difference between these two people in terms of what they did to get ready for last night, because the mistake that Donald Trump made, even though folks have said that he has been, on the debate stage in this way 7 times, more than any other human being on earth. He has done this 7 times. He took the debate that he did on June 27th with Joe Biden as proof positive that he had performed well. He did not. It was just that Joe Biden's performance was so problematic that no one focused on Donald Trump because people were so caught off guard by Joe Biden's performance. Joe Biden torpedoed Joe Biden. Trump didn't decimate him. Trump didn't clown him. Trump didn't one-up him. Joe Biden defeated Joe Biden. And that's the piece that Donald Trump missed as he walked away. So the debate that we saw last night was an example of somebody decimating somebody winning, somebody, that was able to decisively make the case where the other person faltered. And leading up into the debate, as political pundits and people were talking about what Kamala Harris should do, what should be the tact, the strategy, the approach. One of the things that was clear is I heard a lot of women saying she can't sound catty. She can't sound, this way because women aren't afforded the opportunity to air grievance or to, be snide or come at him if because they'll be perceived as, being something other than a professional. Men can do it. Women can't do it. We kept hearing that. She can't try to get jabs at him. Just stick to the policy, stick to the points. And I remembered when this one political pundit was talking about it on MSNBC 2 days ago. And I smiled and I said, you don't know sisters, but you're going to learn today. Because we have the uncanny ability to smack the fire out of you in a meeting. And you don't realize you've been smacked till you walk out the door, because it was done in such a way that other observers realized what was happening, but you didn't. I remember thinking to myself, no. There will be an opportunity and a moment to take jabs and remind people of exactly who this man is. That whole stick to the policy, some of her best moments in addition to policy is the ability when the question about race comes up to walk down that history that goes back to housing discrimination lawsuits all the way to present day. And this whole thing on saying that she's not black. The ability to remind people that this man has been given a $400 million head start from his daddy, as opposed to the working class people that she represents and talks about every single day. Like, there were opportunities to say non-policy related things that I think drove home the point about the stark differences between these two people and why this man was not good for the American public at large. And so I remembered smiling 2 days ago. And I said, I don't know everything. I don't even know half the things. But I know this. There's no way you debate Donald Trump and you don't smack him or tap him on the social, on the personal drama that consumed us for the 4 years that he was in office. She did it skillfully. I heard Hakeem Jeffries say this morning she put on a clinic, basically, a master class, I think was his terminology, in how to handle this too. But when you basically can look at Donald Trump, who is so vain, and say, basically don't nobody like you, right? Like, I thought I was going to pass out. She was able to needle him to get under his skin without it looking like a deliberate, I'm being petty. But no, we need to remind people of who this man is. And so I got to take a break. But one thing that he did when the section on race came up, and he said, I had heard she had started calling herself black or something like that. And then he said, and I heard she put out. When I tell you that cut, because it just showed the vulgarity of this individual standing on the stage, that you thought that in a presidential debate, you would try to bring in somebody's sexual, proclivities or whatever. And I heard that she put out, it was the most ignorant. And he said a whole bunch of ignorant stuff last night. But the idea that on a presidential platform, you stood up with your 77-year-old behind and said something so 13 years old in a locker room. I heard she put out. But you the one who got, a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against you for sexually attacking a woman, 19 women saying that you sexually assaulted them, and then the whole hush money case with whatever Stormy Daniels it was. And I'm like, you thought you could say that? Like that gender piece, that male, that foolishness, that with your record around sex and inappropriate behavior, you thought you could get on the stage and say, and I heard she puts out. Oh my God. I got to take a break. But when I tell you, I would have had to tell Lindsay, give me 1 second. And I would have walked down his sexual history in the public. I would have walked, but it didn't belong there. Kamala handled it the correct way. I would have been wrong, but I would have took that moment. I would have took that L, because the idea that a man with this kind of track record thought he could get on the stage and bring up a woman's, sexuality and whether or not she was promiscuous or not. That lets you know what year Donald Trump is still living in. Let me take a break. I'll be right back. from the debate for a moment to um, inform some of you. Many of you are already getting the information in the word. We have received notice that Frankie Beverly of R&B and soul band Maze has passed away. In a post, the news of his passing was confirmed by his family on his official social media accounts, saying, and I quote, "Grieving the loss of a loved one is a deeply personal and emotional experience. During this time, as we are navigating feelings of sorrow, reflection, and remembrance, we kindly ask for privacy and understanding, allowing us the space to grieve in our own way. This period is one of healing, and your respect for our need for solitude is appreciated as we honor the memory of our beloved Howard Stanley Beverly, known to the world as Frankie Beverly. He lived his life with pure soul, as one would say, and for us, no one did it better. He lived for his music, family, and friends. Love one another as he would want that for all of us, or he would want that for us all. Howard Stanley Beverly, aka Frankie Beverly. And so for folks that know, Frankie Beverly is legendary in our community. We have outfits based on, a Frankie Beverly performance. We know in the summer, we had that signature white. And in the fall, we had that signature black fit to wear to a Frankie Beverly show and May's concert. Frankie Beverly, born Howard Beverly in December 1946 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, began his musical career by forming several groups as a teenager. His first taste of success came with Frankie Beverly and the Butlers, who released If That's What You Wanted in 1967, catching the eye of record producer Kenny Gamble. The group moved to California, rebranded as Raw Soul, and soon attracted the attention of Motown legend Marvin Gaye. Gaye not only made them the opening act on his tours, but he also convinced them to adopt the name Maze, setting the stage for their lasting legacy in the music industry. Formed in the 1970s, Maze featuring Frankie Beverly became renowned for their smooth soul sound, producing timeless hits like Before I Let Go, Joy and Pain, and Happy Feelings. Beverly's distinctive voice and charismatic stage presence endeared him to fans, making him a beloved figure in the R&B and music soul scenes. Audience flocked to see Maze, often donning Beverly's signature all-white attire, creating a unifying and vibrant atmosphere at concerts. In 2024, Beverly announced his retirement with the I Want to Thank You Farewell Tour, culminating in a final emotional performance on May 12th at the Kia Forum in Los Angeles. Beverly's music has left an indelible mark on his fans, evoking memories of joy, pain, and celebration. His farewell tour was a heartfelt tribute filled with nostalgia and gratitude, marking the end of an era for many devoted followers. So to the many people that reached out to make sure that we were aware here at the radio station, thank you so much. The information popped up in our feeds as well. And so for folks in the community who are just now tuning in, we wanted to share with you that today we have lost Frankie Beverly of Frankie Beverly and Maze.
I know I've fallen on myself. I owe no blame to no one else. Now I realize I can't get can't find happiness. And girl, it's all because I can't get over you. Hey, baby, why, oh, why? Thinking of you makes me cry. No matter how I try, I'm gonna love you by and by. By and by.
maybe if you didn't catch it, we announced that we had learned, like much of the rest of the community, that Frankie Beverly of Frankie Beverly and Mays has passed away. It has been confirmed on social media by members of his family. And so I just want to make sure that if you hear a ton of Frankie Beverly being played this morning and Mays, that you understand what's happening. We also are talking about the debate last night. So I've received a ton of text messages just since the show started this morning. I am interested in hearing from you. I'm certainly going to give you my spin on things, or some of the questions, issues that stood out to me, comments, places I thought that were strong, places that I thought we could have done better. But the bottom line is, without fail, Kamala Harris won the day, period. All of the spin, all of the attempts by Republican, the word that came to mind right away was sycophants, but they had to do a job. They had to do, start chuckling. They had to do a job. Just imagine having to go into the spin room after that ridiculous performance by Donald Trump, which to me is really what all of his performances have been like. I don't care how people try to polish it up and say that, he's been, an amazing debater. Donald Trump is a carnival barker, and he uses insults and bullying tactics to be able to get points across. And it was on full display. Having him stand side by side against this sister last night, it was on full blown display. Callers, I see you. I'm coming. One of the things, and we missed this as we were like when we were first getting everything switched on to watch the debate last night, we missed the opening couple of 2-3 minutes of the debate. Maybe 5, quite frankly, when we were trying to get the screen up because we had been watching some other stuff. And so when I got home last night, the one thing that every single commentator talked about, every single, I don't care if it was on the conservative side or the Democratic side, Republican side, Democrat side, liberal side, whoever, progressive, everybody that was willing to concede it talked about the same thing. And I had to go back and watch it. Kamala Harris messed up the game from the second she walked out onto the floor with the handshake that was seen around the world. Donald Trump thought that he was going to just, big boy her, ignore her. This was the first time the two of them had ever been in proximity like this to one another. And Kamala Harris walked him down to make him shake her hand. And it was done in such a commanding way. Like, oh, no, player, you won't be ignoring me. And this is not Hillary Clinton. No disrespect to Hill, but we getting ready to do something different today. She set the tone. And most people concede or believe that it threw Donald Trump off immediately, because that was not the plan. He had not intended to interact with her like that. This my enemy. We about to do battle. That little thing they do in boxing where we just gonna just dap, and walk away. No. We gonna do a handshake. So let me just say, and I talk to young people all the time. When I meet people, particularly younger people, and they shake my hand, or when I meet women and women shake my hand, that weak, flimsy handshake, I say something to people every time. Every time. The number of young people that can tell you I stopped them, and I'm like, that is not how you shake hands. Let's practice how to shake hands. And I give them examples of what it feels like. And I said, can you feel the difference between what I'm doing and what you're doing? And they're like, yes. What's the difference? You feel more powerful. You feel more in control of the situation. You feel more, one little girl said, it seems more like you're the leader in this moment. Kamala Harris, out the gate, was already in Donald Trump's head with the handshake. I agree with what political pundits and observers were saying, that sets the tone. Now, I'm not kidding. If y'all want to weigh in, call in at 414-444-5250. Tell me what it was for you that you saw that you was like, oh yeah, she is owning this moment. She is owning the night. Somebody said, yes, he looked shook with the handshake. Somebody else said also he would not address Kamala by her name. It was always her or she. Very disrespectful. People noted that as well, because what he did not want to do is to put her in a position of looking presidential, of looking like a leader, of looking like somebody that was worthy of respect. So he tried to diminish her. Kudos to you, the person who's texting me, that you observed that, because so many people commented on that as well, that he would call her or she. He did not want to call her by her name. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
I'm telling you, she did her job. And I like the way she walked over to his side.
That's right.
And you're right. It must have been 10 years ago when somebody showed me, this is the way you do a handshake. Not no flimsy noodle shake, like you're in control or something, even if you're not. Put on a good front. She got him on all of the things that he said and done. She got a chance to get him in there. And I'm telling you, if you're still on the fence, I don't know what you're on the fence for. Because you see two different things going on. And look, I'm not for entertainers endorsing nobody, but Taylor Swift said she did her research.
Absolutely.
And she did herself.
All right.
And number one, these are women. But I'm just saying, it was excellent. And no, we can get picky units about this, that, and the other. But she did an excellent job.
So let me just ask you, which thing
Okay.
do you think she landed the most effective blow?
Number one, it was reproductive rights.
Okay.
Did you see how he lied and said the Democrats all the way up to it was no end. You could kill the baby after it got here. You could have an abortion on
Not after it was born. After the baby was born.
And then I ain't never heard this thing where they were eating dogs and cats. Come on. But this is where she got him. I don't know what rally she's been looking at of Kamala, but baby, I was at the one in Milwaukee and it lit us on fire, okay? It made my old tail say, I'm going out. I'm going to do something to make this man never get in office again. Get off your couch and meet. I hope you watched it too. Have a good one.
Thank you. The number of people that hit me up was like, ooh, I wonder what Meech got to say. I wonder what Meech got to say about his boy. Because I was trying to remember what Meech said when he called in yesterday about how he thought the debate was going to go and Kamala's performance. But, in all honesty, come on, y'all. Meech knew. Meech been around. Meech knew. He knew.
We had Meech.
and any other conservative, I want to call the little sisters that was on the panel and be like, hey ladies.
Did you see Charlene on the news this morning?
I didn't. What'd she say?
Oh, he did a great job. He
Charlene was on the news this morning.
On Channel 12 or one of them watch parties.
Really?
I just happened to have her on.
Okay.
Charlene. and she looked like she had been fighting all night. Because
you said it looked like she had been fighting.
Yeah, because I mean, if you were a Trump fan last night, you certainly probably couldn't sleep well. Probably didn't sleep too well.
I mean, if you're somebody that's able to tell the truth, because that's the thing. I can support somebody, I can love them to death, and then still turn around and be like, yeah, but they was off last night. That's my people, that's my family. But yeah, we had some missteps. The way I talked about Biden, like, hey, come on now, that's still my dude. But there were some struggles. If you can be honest, like these people don't even have the ability to be honest. We all saw the same thing. We all saw it. Your boy got roasted.
My eyes was lying. And ears.
Okay, I got callers on the line. I got folks texting me. Hang on, let me get some of these. Somebody said, not only did she shake his hand, she said, Kamala Harris, nice to meet you. Let me see this one right here. When he said, run, spot, run, I died.
He only got 4 lines. 4 lines. Run, spot, run.
Dude said, okay, so somebody that had a whole bunch to say. That was like, nuck if you buck.
Look, if you buck. Look, if you buck.
That was playing in the background at their house when they was watching the debate. Nuck if you buck. They said we moved to the wrong state. Abortion at birth had me like, what? Yes, he looked shook on the handshake. Oh my God, not nuck if you buck.
I don't think he was ready for
I'm
that.
telling you, because he thought he was about to pull a Hillary Clinton, be, super tall and big and imposing. Because Kamala Harris is not no big woman. He thought he was getting ready to be imposing. And I was like, you just ain't been up against sisters. Because I'd have seen the smallest sisters in the world talk so crazy. You would think they was Shaquille O'Neal, because they talk so slick and so crazy. Like, nah, bruh. This is gonna be like
herself a couple times, but she was ready to call him something.
Oh my God! When she did they said like the first letter looked like it was about to be an F.
This mother. Mr. President.
when she turned to the side and she did that look, it was like this. And she called herself. Oh my God. I thought I was gonna pass out. It was the best. It was the absolute best. And everybody was trying to figure out what she was getting ready to call him when she did that move. Yeah, she killed the game with that one. I was like, that was almost the fact it was better than Nancy Pelosi tearing up his speech while he was talking, and Nancy Pelosi tore up his speech and then did that sideways hand clap. I said, oh, she just caught Nancy Pelosi on that one. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
You know what?
What?
I think she did a good job. Now, let me tell you one thing. Okay. When it came down to the border, she should have told him. He started this mess. Because when he was in office, and when he started putting them people in cages. That's what's been looked over.
Okay.
And she should have brought that to him. I think she did an excellent job.
Well, yes, ma'am. I agree with you. Thank you so much, caller. I agree. One of the things that she did do was try to help people understand, because he kept trying to call her the border czar. You was a border czar. No, Kamala Harris's job was to figure out what was going on in these countries that was causing their people to try to come to the U.S. She was looking at policy. She was not there to stop border crossings or to, how do we reinforce the border? That was not her role. That's the role of Congress and these legislators that could do something differently. The thing, and to make that point, that Donald Trump, because he was scared that Joe Biden would get a political win, when they had, and she talked about that, when they had reached a consensus, and she talked about what the bill would have done. I think it was like give 1,500 more border agents, give more resources, more reinforcements. She went through a litany of things that the bill would have done, bipartisan effort, and Donald Trump calls his Republicans on the Hill and says, do not sign that bill. I do not want Joe Biden to be given any political upper hand. And I don't even understand or the best way to describe what Republicans did, because you've been whining and complaining about the border. That's all Meach talk about. And some of these Republicans talk about that text me. That's all they talk about. The border, the border, the border. Y'all had an opportunity to do something, and your boy told them not to. And like stooges, they went along with what he said. Help me understand that, fam. Because if it really was about the border, and protecting black jobs and protecting, this country from rapists and killers and thieves and all of that, When you had a chance to do something, why did Donald Trump stop it? And he single-handedly stopped it. That's the crazy part. Is that these people let one individual single-handedly stop the passage of that legislation.
They're afraid of him.
They I don't know if they're afraid of him as much as the base that he controls, because he's controlling a lot of the people in the base. You know, without the base, there's no reason to be afraid of Donald Trump. Because you're just some old dude with a bad comb over, and I shouldn't call him an old dude, but you're just this dude with a bad comb over talking crazy. Like that, but understanding the power he wields with that base, you gotta watch what you say with this man. Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hello?
Yes, hello?
All right. You all missed something. When Kamala Harris owned them right away, because when she walked up to him and introduced herself, what y'all didn't listen to, you probably have to go back and listen to it again. She said, Kamala Harris, nice to meet you. She said, after that, she said, let's have a good debate. She owned them right there.
Okay, so yep, I don't have the let's have a good debate portion. But yes, sir. I think that bigger issue is just the approaching him and forcing him to engage her and on her terms. You're absolutely right. That set the tone for what we will later see throughout the rest of the evening. I agree with you 100%. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Agree with you 100%. Someone said, let me see. Wait, where'd it go? Because I'm getting a whole bunch of stuff. Somebody said, I hope you watched Jimmy Kimmel last night. He tore him up. I didn't. I'm gonna watch Jimmy Kimmel today. I was looking at Stephen Colbert. His was okay, but I'm gonna look at Jimmy Kimmel's later because I know Jimmy Kimmel's was gonna be the best. Someone said when Vice President Kamala reminded Donald who he was running against was one poignant moment for me. You know, when she was like, hey. You're not running against Joe Biden. You're running against me. Like, and he kept going on these rants. At first he said she done nothing. She, just did what her boss said. And then all of a sudden everything became her fault. But it was like, well, you just said she wasn't running nothing. She was just listening to her boss. But I'm going to tell you what moment got me. When she walked down them cases, when she talked about them 34 felonies and she walked down them cases on him and he just had to stand there, and then, they're coming after me. Everybody's after me. Nah, bruh, this all you. And then he starts relitigating the 2020 election. And she's like, you went to court 60 times. You lost all those cases. And you see how Wisconsin kept being brought into the fold. And he was trying to indicate like in some way he had been cheated in Wisconsin. And that there was, there was something amiss here. It was just incredible.
The moderators I thought did a decent job. I'm not going to say they did the best job. But I think that some of the misinformation, if you will, for instance, when he talked about the dogs and cats in Ohio, and the moderator comes back and said, well, we reached out and there's no reports of this. We spoke with so-and-so, and they know nothing about it. Yeah, well, it was in the news. I seen it on TV. So you're going to get in a debate and not do your homework and confirm that this is really happening.
Exactly.
There was another couple points where they kibosh